I'm late. I'm late on this. Everyone else has their review out. You guys probably already bought the book. You know what's going on. But I wanted to let this book sit with me for a little bit until I got in front of the camera and talked to you guys about Goosebumps, House of Shivers #1. This is the scariest book ever, right? Ever in the world? Yeah, ever. It's the scariest book ever. That is in name only, guys. As you can imagine, spoiler alert, this is not the scariest book ever. However, I did want to at least give Mr. R.L. Stine his props and his flowers for this. The thing about this book that blows my mind the most is that this book is 31 years in the making. Now, guys, if you recall or if you know, the first Goosebumps book ever, Welcome to Dead House, came out in 1992. This is 2023. The first book is literally older than I am, which is saying a lot. And, guys, it's crazy to me that these books still read the same after 31 years. R.L. Stine, the guy works hard. What can you say? I mean, he just kills it. I had to pick up the newest book in the series, House of Shivers. It's a few weeks old at this point, and I'll be honest, guys, when I got done reading it, I thought I better give this book some time to sit with me. And my opinion did not really change a ton on it. I will say that, guys. This book, like I mentioned, especially when it comes to Goosebumps books and how scary they are, this one is not near the top of the heap in that regard. The book follows the twins Betty and Billy, who are visiting their Uncle Wendell at his secluded house in the Wayward Forest. What they think is going to be a boring stay quickly turns into a real nightmare. Wendell is in possession of the scariest book in the world, and someone is after Wendell. To keep the book safe, the siblings will have to plunge directly into the heart of the most dangerous forest, where they must escape man-bats, animal crows, and giant insects, among other horrors. Now, the reason that sounds really familiar is because this book's plot is a lot like this book's plot. Yes, guys, if you've been on the channel before, I have a review up for Legend of the Lost Legend. Please go check that out. But these books are super, super similar. And I am not the first one to point that out, guys. I realize that there have been many awesome Goosebumps YouTubers that have pointed this fact out. But it is true. I can't break my mind away from it, because this feels like if somebody read Legend of the Lost Legend and told R.L. Stine, hey, I really love that book of yours. Can you go ahead and make it a little bit more goosebumpy, please? Turn it into a horror story instead of a fantasy adventure / science fiction story. And R.L. Stine said, okay, sure. I'll take that exact story and twist it into a more goosebump-ish plot, basically. And that's where you get this. And guys, spoiler alert also, I am not a huge fan of Legend of the Lost Legend. I think it is not really a Goosebump book. It's more of a fantasy adventure book, if you guys caught my meaning there. There's also kind of a lot of monsters, and there's a enchanted forest, and there is a literature item that they're searching for. In this case, it was like a movie script, basically. And in this case, they're at their uncle's house in the woods, and they're searching for this scariest book ever, with a lot of twists and turns along the way. So there you go. These two books, very, very similar. Not a great start for the new Goosebumps series. However, I will go over some more of the positives about this book. First off, as you guys can see, they brought back the classic Goosebumps font. I will say, though, it's sort of strange seeing this font but with no border around it, if you guys catch my meaning. The original books have, that same font, the Goosebumps font, and there's like the nice border that, are all different colors that go around the edges of the book. And it looks great. It frames the image really well. This, while I think that, I love the color scheme, the purple and the greens, I don't know if I love the fact that it's not framed around the picture, I guess. The picture looks like it's just kind of popping behind the words, which maybe for some of you won't mind. For me, it doesn't really look that amazing to me. Also, While the artwork on this cover is fine, it's no Tim Jacobus, I'll be honest. It kind of looks like a Halloween coloring book cover to me. And the story in general, guys, because that's what really matters at the end of the day. The story in House of Shivers #1 is not fantastic, I'll be honest. I think as soon as I stopped reading it, I thought this book is a 5 or a 6 out of 10. I wanted to come to this book thinking, oh, I'm going to love it. I'm going to really give it a chance. And it's not all bad, but it is not very good. It's sort of read to me like a Disney Channel Halloween horror special video movie, like a made-for-TV Disney Channel movie for Halloween. It's not bad. It's sort of, follows this brother and sister. They go to their creepy uncle's mansion. They bring their dog with them for whatever reason. And kind of typical Goosebump scenes occur throughout the book. And again, besides a couple monsters that perhaps, maybe might sound a little creepy on paper, I think there's like a human-sized bat. There are some bats that have like these, skull faces on them, just like on the cover. So the cover is not lying. There are actually bats in the book with like people faces. They don't play a large role. But yeah, some of the creatures are pretty scary. They attack, I think the uncle and the kids. And that scene's kind of violent, I guess. But it's really not saying a whole lot. And I think this book was a victim of too many twists and turns. I don't think R.L. Stine really fleshed out what he wanted to do with this story very well. It kind of fell flat to me. There were so many, it's not actually this thing, it's this thing, or this person isn't that person, they're actually this person. And it just didn't work for me. It felt kind of contrived and maybe a little bit like cheesy and just was an easy way for him to do something that seemed shocking. But unfortunately, guys, I did not want to return in front of the camera and talk to you guys about a Goosebump book in a negative light, because I love this series to death. Honestly, I really do. I have a ton of them on the shelf behind me. We're going to go over more books, plus a few other Halloween-related books for the special that's happening next Friday, guys. Please check that out. There will be Goosebumps on the list of books that I talk about, but not just that. We're going to go over a couple fun books that I read here recently that I think will get us in that Halloween mood. Much better than this book, The Scariest Book Ever. And guys, one last thing, as you probably will note if you've purchased this book, on the very back, just like with all Goosebump books, they show a little preview for what the next book will be. In this case, it is Goblin Monday? Yeah, Goblin Monday, which seems like maybe it could be a Revenge of the Lawn Gnomes ripoff. But it's Goosebumps, it's still thriving, R.L. Stine's still writing. That's always a positive for me. But this book, overall, guys, is a whopping 6 out of 10. For Goosebump books, that is not a fantastic score. But I'm being honest, guys, this one was kind of a dud for me, unfortunately. We'll look forward to Goblin Monday, and we'll see how that one turns out. But for now, guys, please like the video, subscribe to my channel. We're bringing some more content, a lot of more Halloween content coming next week. Cannot wait to share that with you guys. Please check out some of my other videos. There are other reviews on the channel of different book series, definitely a lot of Goosebumps. But yeah, a lot more good stuff to get to, guys, in the coming months. Cannot wait to share it with you. Read on.